Is it bubblegum pink? No. Why? Let me tell you. TikTok has found another way to make women insecure about how they look down there.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
The bubblegum pink trend is a lot to unpack. So let's talk about it. I made this video about my roast beef coochie because I wanted girls to know that it's okay if you're not bubblegum pink and perfectly tucked in. Because most likely, it probably won't be. Your coochie won't be the Pantone standard for bubblegum pink. Because who's looking at this and thinking, yes, that is a natural shade I find on my body. So where does this even come from? The idea of bubblegum pink being the gold standard for beauty actually goes way back. The color pink itself has been a symbol of youth, femininity, girlhood, and innocence since like the 1950s. Pink Barbies, baby dolls, pink tux on literally everything. Society decided that pink equals feminine, and then somewhere along the way, some weirdo decided to extend that logic to downstairs regions. Some weirdo that's actually probably pink. And then, because the internet loves to take things to the next level, we have TikTok boys and their little group chats and weird, creepy old men making it a trend. The phrase, I bet it's bubblegum pink, is it bubblegum pink, has been used in disgusting ways online to schmegularize young girls, literal children, and push this completely unrealistic idea of what is desirable. Because I'll get into this more in a second because there's lots of different reasons why you can look darker down there, one of which is puberty and hormones. So the idea that it should be pink and people watching videos of girls and being like, I bet it's pink, comes from the idea that if you want to have a desirable downstairs, you need to be a child. The ways patriarchal beauty standards are so intertwined with the I bet it's bubblegum pink trend actually got so bad that TikTok began to ban words associated with it. And what makes it so messed up is that in addition to the patriarchal / pedophile beauty standards, bubblegum pink feeds into colorism and Eurocentric beauty standards. And the idea that there is one right way for a woman's body to look. There is no right way for a woman's body to look, but we do know that not having pink lady bits is more normal than not. So let's get the facts straight. Vulvas come in all sorts of shades of colors. Pink, brown, purple, reddish, a combination of all of the above. And guess what? That's completely normal because skin tone, hormones, ethnicity, friction, all of these things play a role into what color you are now. It's not a sign of anything being wrong. It's not an indicator of how many partners you've had. I've even had someone comment saying that your color is based on your period blood staining it. No, having a darker tone down there is actually just how bodies work. First reason we may have a darker tone down there is melanin levels. Some of us have more melanin. Darker skin tones means darker tones in certain areas. Science, babe. That's why this so directly impacts women of color and feeds Eurocentric beauty standards. It's completely normal for people with darker complexions to be darker down there too. One of my good friends, I love her. She's gorgeous. She's like typical Eurocentric beauty standard. Tall, blonde, light eyes, very thin, Brazilian waxed innie. And we were all hanging out with like 5 or 6 other girls, and we got into the topic of intimate bleaching, which for decades, advertising has pushed to us that the idea of lighter or pinker equals better. We've seen this in everything from skin lightening creams to intimate washes that claim to brighten and beautify your downstairs. So we were talking about it, and my friend goes, wait, so the bleaching cream makes the area down there like white? And we were like, no, it just makes it like light or like a light tan or pink. And she was like, but it's already pink. This is why we need to talk about the variety in which bodies can look like. My one Latina friend was just sitting there like, we were like, oh no, girl, like ours are not pink. Well, okay, so knowing that like 4 out of the 6 girls that were there did not have a perfectly pink poussoir is a huge indicator of the variety of shades in which we can come down there. The fact is that yes, some people are pink, but many are not. Another thing that can impact the color down there are hormonal changes. Pregnancy, puberty, menopause, all of these can affect pigmentation. As your hormones are changing, your coochie is just adapting like the resilient girl she is. And if your lips down there are darker, like in her thighs, you know, fun fact, it can be a sign of higher estrogen levels. So instead of panicking, just know your body's out here thriving. Because typically high estrogen women, this is like in regards to the male gaze, are seen as more feminine and more desirable because they're also more fertile. So you can throw that at a man's face if he ever makes you feel bad for being darker down there. And this also goes back to what I was saying earlier about men liking young girls. If someone's putting you down for having like darker, longer labia, it's like, why? Because I went through puberty? Because I'm not a little girl anymore and therefore I'm undesirable? Ooh, yikes. That says more about you than it does me. Being an innie or an outie is just really how you were born, genetics, and your lips can just grow longer and darker when your hormones change. Not everyone experiences this, but it's fine. One of the last things that impacts color is friction and movement, walking, sitting, existing. Your skin naturally changes over time. Have you ever noticed that the skin underneath your underarms is darker? That's where like a lot of skin on skin friction is and shaving. Or have you noticed it's darker right around where your like underwear meets your inner thigh? That's just from clothing friction. And it's also why a lot of outies like myself may feel discomfort wearing certain underwear. They feel like their lips chafe on their underwear, and sometimes that chafing and constant rubbing can make things look a little darker. But this uncomfortable experience of my outie lips in underwear is why I started my underwear brand Cherry. I make undies in a super soft organic cotton with a wider gusset, that's the downstairs part, meaning that it actually covers everything that needs to be covered, because sometimes I have to choose which lip is going to go in my thong that day. But with Cherry, no lip slips, so therefore I'm not going to have that irritation that you may be getting from underwear riding up the front. I'd also like to mention that the amount of schmensual partners you've had does not correlate to the color. This is also where the term roast beef originates from too. I talk more about the origin of roast beef in another video if you want to watch that, but it's a reference to not only the length of the labia, but also the color and texture. It was a term used to label women with outies as being promiscuous, inferring that the color and the length is due to them having multiple partners, and therefore they're undesirable. Friction from getting freaky with it does not cause you to look darker down there. But if you're aroused, you have more blood flow going to that area, and it can temporarily make your bits appear larger and darker, sort of like how men's peepees look larger and darker when they're aroused. Same applies to us, you know. If someone is judging your coochie by its shade, that is not a person who deserves to be anywhere near it. I do receive comments and DMs from girls who are insecure about their color. This conversation in particular stuck out to me. Queen, WTF do you do when your boyfriend is disgusted by your kitty when he sees it for the first time? It's clean and smells good. It's just brown and darker than I am. He was disgusted and I feel so embarrassed. I've literally been crying all day. I feel so horrible. I've tried everything from home remedies to clinically lightening it, but nothing works. He says he's only seen pink once before and we've talked about it. And even if I dump him, I'm genuinely insecure to the point that I don't know if I'll ever want to sleep with anyone else again. I tried telling him that corn stars sometimes get their kitties done and he's just saying I'm gross. I feel like absolute shite and I feel so guilty. I tried to reassure her that was such an abnormal reaction from a boy and that she shouldn't let that one experience ruin her experiences with other people in the future. Porn and media have influenced a lot of people's perceptions of what women's bodies should look like. Thankfully, there is a lot more diversity in porn. A lot of it is still airbrushed. As porn has gotten more diverse, showing outies and hair and different body types, it's still not something that should be used as a basis for education around what your body should look like. This conversation made me so sad that there are boys out there that are still thinking that darker lips are gross because it's literally just normal. Here we have a girl making a boy's issue her problem. Her body is normal and she feels guilty. It makes me want to cry. Whether it's pink or brown or purple or a mix of all three, it's normal. It's supposed to have pigment. It's supposed to look unique to you. The idea that it should be bubblegum pink is a lie created to make us feel insecure. But guess what? You don't have to hold on to that lie. And if anyone tries to make you feel bad for how you look down there, that is not a you problem. Because a person who actually deserves access to your body is someone who respects it, appreciates it, and understands that real human bodies do not come in factory set shades. So if someone doesn't like it, they can leave. And if they don't like it, that is not a reflection on your self-worth. Your body is not up for debate. It's not here to be graded. It's here to be loved by you first and foremost. And if anyone tries to make you feel bad, they can unsubscribe from your coochie privileges immediately. So that's why I make silly videos like this to remind women that you don't have to be bubblegum pink to be desired, and that most women, like myself, aren't bubblegum pink and we're still desired, because not being bubblegum pink is normal. So yeah, it's an FU to patriarchal beauty standards because I'm not bubblegum pink and I'm still getting eaten up like it's the last meal. Pink or brown, one is not superior to the other. We're all different. If you had a little roast beef like me, comment below. Check out my roast beef centric video. And don't forget to subscribe for more coochie related content.